What is the answer? So horizontal input, I mean input dot get axis horizontal, what does it give? Yeah? Takes input from left arrow or right arrow. So how is that taken? Like what? Sorry? Mm. We generally use it with some vector, but it itself does not return a vector. What does it return? So that we can use it with some vector. -1 to 1. It returns values between -1 and 1. That's why we multiply it with some speed variable as well. So if it is 0, it's like not taking any input. But if you press it left, it will keep increasing or decreasing, however you want to put it. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and so on. It will go up to -1. It can't go beyond that. Okay. Similarly, if you press right, it will keep increasing 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and so on up to 1. So that whatever your speed is, that speed is multiplied by this factor. It's just a factor. So suppose if your speed is 30, you want to go at max 30 speed. So you keep pressing, after a few seconds, it will go to full speed. It's like accelerator, right? So this number is the factor. Is it 0.5 into 30 or 0.6 into 30 or 0.1 into 30? That factor will be given by this key. Okay? So that you multiply it with the specific speed, it will increase up to that speed, either in this direction or in this direction. Okay? So this will just give the value between -1 and 1. So now tell me, what is the possible answer? Yeah? A, 0.52 f, that is the possible answer. Okay? So no others will satisfy this variable. Okay? All right. What is true about the following 2 lines of code? What is the answer? Yeah, they will both move an object the same distance. Because if you remember, in the very first examples of Unity scripts that we were seeing, transform.translate, we were using 100 or 001 or something like that, and then we replaced it with vector.forward, vector.up, vector.back, those kind of things, because 100 means along x-axis. So it is vector.right. For going forward, it should go along z-axis. That will be 001. Okay? So vector dot forward or up or down, whatever they will just move the object by 1 unit in that direction. So they are shortcuts for 100 or 010 or 001 or whatever it is, or -100 or whatever they are. So they will just move the object by 1 unit distance. So these two will move the object the same distance, although in different directions. First one, vector dot forward means 001. Then 100 means along x-axis, so that is vector 3 dot right. Okay? So answer is A. Which comment would best describe the code below? So what is the answer for this? Yeah, A. So here you are using left and right arrow keys, and then based on that input, you are using that input, you are rotating the object along or against, around y-axis. Okay, that's all. Okay, if you want to destroy an object when its health reaches 0, what code would be best in the blank below? Yeah, exactly, C. Because health is int, so anything less than 1 is 0, so health becomes 0 if health is less than 1. Which comment best describes the following code? Yeah. Yeah. D. If the player collides with another object, destroy the object. That's all. Ninth, A. Straightforward. Okay. 10th, D. Yeah, it's D. 11th, yeah, if an enemy goes below the ground, destroy the enemy. Okay. Yeah, it's C, because it's saying out of bound, out of range, which means maybe the array length is not correct. So instead of hard coding the array length, you can actually say random.range 0, array.length. Okay. Which comment best describes the code below? Sorry? C. Why?
Because it shows destroy other game.
Yeah. Is C saying that?
This script is associated with
Player. So what is the answer?
B.
B. So if the player collides with a spike, destroy the spike. Yeah. Which of the following is true about either the start or update functions?
D.
Sorry?
D.
D. Any other answers? A. The start function runs at the start of every update function. No. Start function runs once and then update function runs for each frame. So both are not related. If the start function also runs at the start of every update function, then it's like start is also repeating every time. But start runs only once at the beginning of the code. Okay? Update function runs before the start function? No. Update function runs only one time? No, it runs for every frame. So because it runs in each frame, it is better to give the player input in update function, so that for each frame it's taking the input and behaving accordingly. Okay? So player input should be handled in the update function. Okay? What about this? A. Simple. Cannot implicitly convert type float to int. That's why we use explicit conversion. Okay? Yeah. Just give me a minute. Okay. So the next section is about writing some scripts to solve some to implement some small scenarios, basic scenarios. So write a short C# script in Unity that checks for a key press and makes a game object jump. All right. So we can say. So I'm just giving the basic skeleton. I'm not writing all the names. You also need not write all the namespaces and all that. Some basic things you need to write. So we can say okay. So by how much amount we want the player to jump. There is nothing in the start function specifically, so we can just leave it empty. So actually jump, technically speaking, jump means that player goes up and comes back, okay, but that requires gravity and rigid body thing. So implementing that in the script itself, I did not teach you. So I would at least expect you to implement at least the player to just go up when you press the space bar. If the player at least goes up, if you can write code at least for that, you will get full marks. Okay. So what should we check here? If input dot get key down, key code dot space. Okay. Then yeah, so tell me. Transform dot translate vector3 dot up into time dot delta time into speed. Okay, that's it. So this much would be sufficient for the first one. Okay. All right. Okay, this ignore these things. Okay, so I got it. So let's use this only then. Ignore this part. You can call this jump. Okay. Yeah. Then second one, write a script using on trigger enter that detects a collision between the player and a coin object, increases the player's score by a specific amount. You can use a variable and destroys the coin object. Okay, so this is quite simple because you were given two or three examples of destroying another object in the MCQs itself. So you can just copy most of that code and add some changes. Yeah. So let's create a one. Okay. Yeah. Uh, but we need to implement some variables and use them in the code. So you can have a variable like score. It's, I'm coming to that. No, score will not be visible here. Score will be visible in the log statement. So that for that the variable need not be public. Here it will be public or private. Suppose if you make it public, then the user can change the score. Public means for the developer to access that variable. Okay. So for the developer to access, what you can do is by how much should I increase it. Okay. So we can say maybe by 1 unit. Every time he takes a coin, it will increase by 1. Okay. So we can say coin. So before destroying the coin, we want to increase the score, right? So score plus equal to score increment, right? Increase the score by 1. And then now you print in the debug.log. Okay, like if you remember earlier, game over, we displayed game over at the bottom. So this will also display like that. Total score is scored. Okay, and then destroy. That's it. Okay, fine. All right. Next, create a C# script that continuously rotates a game object around its y-axis at a set speed. This is again quite simple. Okay. So you can set some speed. You can make that speed public because the developer can decide how much speed it should rotate with. Public float speed equal to whatever, say 20 f, and then so the object should also disappear when it goes out of the screen. So we need to either calculate the screen width or assume, say screen width is something. So let's assume the screen width is 30. Okay, and this cannot be changed. There is no need of making it public. So the coder or the developer should know it beforehand and put it in the code. Okay.
In this code, it is rotating function destroy.
No, which code are we discussing then? Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the third one, right? Yeah. I was speaking of the fourth one. Sorry. Yeah. So in third one, all we need is the rotation speed, and then just use it in update function. Transform dot rotate. What should we write? Vector 3 dot up. time time times speed. That's it. Quite simple. Okay. Yeah, now the fourth one. Simulate a basic projectile by writing a script that moves a game object forward in a straight line at a constant speed until it goes off screen. Okay, so you just need to define a speed variable and translate it along the z-axis, and when it goes off the screen, which means when its z coordinate crosses a particular value, destroy it. Okay. So okay. So let me write this so that forget this. I'm getting okay. So let's declare some speed variable. Let's say 10, and let's assume the screen width is something 30. Okay, and so while updating, first you just start translating the object. Transform dot translate. What should I write here? Vector 3 dot forward times time dot delta time times speed. And then how do I check if it reached the boundary or not? How do I check if it crossed the boundary? Cross the screen size? If if the z coordinate is greater than the screen width. So how do I access z coordinate? Transform dot position dot z is greater than screen width. What do I do? Destroy game object. That's it. Okay. That's it. So these are very simple codes. I didn't give very complex ones. Hardly 1 2 lines in each function. That's all. Okay. All right. So now you guys should start thinking about project. So it's completely up to you. You can build some basic game or some VR project or AR project, but then if it is VR or AR, you need to sort of study a bit on your own beforehand before I cover the content, and start early. I'll keep covering as I am going, but if you want to start those projects, you need to same content. The link is available. Unity tutorials, Unity pathways. So VR pathway you have, AR pathway you have. You can just cover those and then build some basic project of your own. It can be simple, but it should be complete. Should do something. It should be a basic product or basic app kind of a thing. or at least project in Unity that you can run and show. Okay, so that's the idea. You can build game also, any game you want. You will need to download assets from Unity Asset Store and use them. So what we can do, I will just share a form. You can specify your project idea, and so that I will also get an idea. And if you want to discuss, we can fix some time and discuss. So earlier I thought it will be a group project, but then there are very few students, so this will be individual project only. There is no point in making groups. Okay? Any doubts? And since you don't have NSEM for this, we can have the presentations during NSEM time. You don't have many other exams also, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'll share the form today. You fill it by tomorrow and start working as soon as possible.
Maybe some more time to
Decide. Yeah. Maybe by Thursday. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I wanted to discuss today. Yeah.
Sir, so one more thing. This is for every student who is doing internship as well, or only?
Whoever needs to write NSEM, they should do project.
So the project is like NSEM purpose.
Yes.